Hey everybody, welcome to Bill's Sea-Doo Midlife Crisis. I'm Bill, and today's project is not actually on my boat. It is a little project on my trailer rims. So I've been meaning to this. I have three rims, two that are on the trailer, and this one, which is the spare. And the ones that are on the boat are not as nice as this one. This one is newer, and it's white. It's actually okay, but it doesn't match the other two that are kind of that stock gray, and they're really beat up and rusty. And one of them, if you follow my channel, you know I had a big hub blowout, so there's grease all over one of them. They look terrible. So one of my projects was to get new tires, which I did. So I have Carlisle radial ply tires on here, brand new. So that's comforting because my old ones were 16 years old. Might have been time to give them a change. And the new ones are brand new, of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand these down, just rough them up, clean them up, sand them down a little bit to rough them up, and I'm going to paint them with Trimclad. Let's get it in English. That's for my friends in Quebec. The Trimclad rust paint. And for my friends in the US, this is probably more commonly known as Rust-Oleum. It's the same company, I think. This is the oil-based paint and primer combo that you can use on a number of things. I'm going to use a similar type of paint on the trailer itself. So for the rims, I'm going to clean these up, sand them, get them roughed up, mask them up, and then paint them with the Trimclad, and then do a clear coat with the clear coat, which is really just designed, I think, to put a little more protection and make them shinier, because I'm trying to make them look kind of chrome-ish without going nuts. So first things first, we're going to give these a cleaning, and then we're going to get the hairdryer going, get the pinstripes off, then we're going to give them a sanding, get them masked up. I'll clear a little area here in my garage. I'm in my garage because it's April here in Toronto, and it's freezing. It's like 50 degrees out for Fahrenheit or whatever that is in Celsius. It's cold. Too cold to be outside. It's actually not too cold, but it's like crazy windy. So mid-April, weather's not that good. Okay, so let's switch over, and we're going to get, I'll get the camera on here so you can see me doing the stuff. Okay, so first thing, I'll just give these guys a really good spray with the degreaser. And as you might imagine, that does a pretty good job cleaning this one up. Just a microfiber towel, and just want to get them, degreased so the paint has a good chance to stick in there, and then the sandpaper will rough them up, and get them really ready to go. Let me just flip this guy over. The underside of this one, the back side I should say, is not actually very dirty, because this is my spare. It's actually never been used. The rim, that is, not on my trailer, and kind of by the looks of it, maybe never on anybody's trailer. And I really wouldn't bother painting back here, other than it's going to look dumb, I think, if it's not painted the same color. But anyway, okay, that was it. That didn't take much at all. So you can see I've got I don't know if you can see that, I've got a radiator going in here just to bring the temperature up in here, so when I paint it will not be freezing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with just 150 grit sandpaper, and I am going to just start sanding. And again, I'm not trying to make this perfect. I am trying to get it, just roughed up enough so it will accept the paint and stick. And that's really all I'm trying to do. So I will pay a little more attention here to the areas of the red stripe, since I can't get that off easily. I'll try to rough it up a little more than some of the other areas, and so I'll do that. So I'm going to just get this sanded, and then same on the other side, and then we're going to give it another cleaning with the degreaser, and then we're going to get it ready to paint. So I won't film all of that, but basically that's what I'm going to do. So when we get it all ready, I'll get back to you. What I'm going to do now is tape up the stem, and then I'm going to do something that I learned on another video. Get my handy dandy index cards, because you know that's where I keep all my phone numbers. Nobody does that, of course, and you can use them to quickly and pretty effectively, I think, mask off your tire like so. And I think it should probably do a good job letting the paint get down there just by the tire, but not on the tire. Okay, so my brilliant idea of using the cards in around the outside, yeah, that didn't really work. The cards are fine, but the space that I have right in here, if I can get in there, right in here, wasn't quite enough to for them to stay in. So I was getting them in, it was kind of like a house of cards, literally. I'd get them in, they start moving, and then they were falling out. So I reverted to the old-fashioned way, masking tape. And this is really slow, because taping around something is, you have to do it in a million small pieces. So I've done most of it. I figured I would tape just the last little bit of me doing this one side. So here we are. Okay. So I take a big piece, break it into a little piece, and just get it on there from where I started before. You can bend it a little bit, but if you try to do too much, you're gonna it'll get all crimped up. So you have to just kind of be patient and do a little bit at a time, and eventually it'll be done. So that's too much. So like that, and break that in there. It doesn't stick really well to the rubber either, so that's another thing that kind of slows you down. But again, we should get a pretty good line, like a nice crisp, perimeter around the outside here. Doing it this way, it just takes a long time. Okay, so I'm using the again the Tremclad rust paint, and this is primer and paint all in one. So theoretically, I don't have to prime it. The instructions said basically clean it as well as possible, rough it up, make sure it's smooth, and no primer, just 10 to 12 inches away and spray away. So, I mean, I've used this before in some other things, and it goes on pretty easily, and it dries pretty well. So hopefully, I feel like this will be good. So I'm going to give it a shake, and then we're going to go. So I'll reposition the camera, and you guys can watch this, see how it goes. Let me pull this a little closer and get that in here like so. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. I got so excited that I started painting without covering the wheel. Okay, so these are the kind of mistakes I make. I get excited, or I'm just excited to be doing it, and I don't have the experience, and I just make a mistake like that where I start painting and I haven't masked off the actual rubber part of the wheel. Anyway, I don't know if you guys are like that. I make mistakes like that a fair bit. I try my hardest not to. So maybe today's Bill's Sea-Doo Midlife Crisis lesson is take your time, for God's sakes. So I can also see already that I can see a bunch of scratch marks from my sanding, which tells me I should have sanded with, I should have done a top coat with a finer grain. So what I think I'm going to do is, since this is probably going to be more than one coat, I'm going to do, since I've already sprayed it a bit, I'm going to do one coat, light coat, let it dry, and then we'll come back and I will sand it a little bit to try to smooth out some of those scrapes, and for the second coat. So here we go. The new and improved actually covered tire, because I'm a bit of a handyman moron. So here we go. I can tell you, it looks pretty good. Yeah, so far so good. This it does kind of look like chrome, so that's cool. Yeah, it looks awesome. And you can't even see. Let's just get there. You can get a better look at it there. I'm kind of holding the camera in a weird way, but hopefully you can see that. It really does look like silver chrome. So, man, that's cool. So, what I think I'm going to do is, I think I will see if I can flip this over and do a coat on the other side so that it has a chance to dry overnight, and that way it will I can put the second coat on it and the clear coat tomorrow. But yeah, it's let me just get this here. So let me just show you. It turned out pretty good. Like I say, it's I was just really trying to clean it up and make it look more modern. So I think I've achieved that. So I'm going to flip it over, tape up the other side, and try to remember to mask it before I start painting, and then I'll show you painting the other side, and that will be it for tonight probably. Okay, I'm all set for side 2. I'm going to shake up a little bit and show you the masked up version of the back side of the tire, ready to go. This time I actually remembered to mask it up. I had to open the garage door a little bit because I was starting to burn brain cells. This is pretty strong, the fumes of this paint, so be careful. If you're going to do it indoors, you really should have a respirator on, and I'm kind of indoors, but I've got the door open now, so I've got some air moving through here, so it's not as bad. So here we go. This shouldn't take long. I'm just going to give it a spray.